We are going to see our mother. And today we might have ham, chicken, fries, cookies, donuts. I love my mommy. I love my mommy. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. My mom is pretty. So, so pretty. I love my mommy so much. I love my mommy. I love my mommy.
All right. What's up, little man? How you doing? You remember me?
See my dad do some Mother's Day card.
You brought us some Mother's Day card?
I love my mom.
Come here, Britt.
Dre.
Dre. Look at she looking at you. You see her now? She looking at you.
I have a murder charge, and I've been locked up 6 years. And I've been out of my kids' life for 6 years, but it's Mother's Day weekend, and I get to see my babies for Mother's Day.
This is Julia Tutwiler Prison for women. Most women here for violent offenders, drug offenders, petty theft, just crime.
Right now, I think it's about maybe 900 of us here, and 50% of us are mothers. 50% of us are mothers. I really want to say like 80%, but it's a lot of people in here don't have kids, but 50% of us, we are mothers. 50% of us are mothers.
Receiving, you ready for it? Receiving? You want to do what? You have the receiving dorm right here. These inmates have just come into the system. It's not been yet classified. They're going to be going out to you.
I believe nationwide you're going to see the female population as far as incarceration, I think, increased by 80%. And that was nationwide. And Alabama is no exception to that. As a result, you're going to have more mothers, moms incarcerated. I would say anywhere from 65 to 70% of the young ladies here are mothers.
Well, they're typical in lots of ways. Most of them, as I said, they are single mothers, and so they were the primary caregiver before they came to prison. I think that visitors here are very surprised to see how much the mothers really do care for their children, and in that way they're very typical.
It's Mother's Day coming up, and I haven't seen my children in like 2 months now.
I'm Carol Potok. I'm Executive Director of AIDS Inmate Mothers, or AIM, and we provide transportation for mothers that have no way of getting their kids down to the prison once a month. We use the churches all across the state to transport these children because there are children that have no way of coming down here. There are some mothers who might otherwise go years without seeing their children. With women's facilities in general across the country, they're generally farther away from their families than, say, a men's facility because because being only one, doesn't matter where in the state you're from, you have to travel to this one institution, whereas the men might have a facility closer to home.
The one unique thing about working with females in that I see as far as difference in males is you are dealing with the whole family. 90% of the time when you have a young lady who's incarcerated, they were the providers, they were the head of the household. So they have to find someone that's going to take care of the children.
My mom takes care of them, and she's been 100% faithful. And that's what really given me strength since I've been here is my mom and my children. Watching her interact with them and the things that I missed out, she's putting in for them.
I'm Tanithia Foster. My AIS number is 134185, and I'm serving a 15-year sentence for forgery and fraudulent use of credit cards. I have 6 children. My oldest son is 14, Willie. And I have a set of twins that's 13, Anthony and Patricia. I have a son that's 9, Hassan, and another set of twins, Lee and Khadijah, that's 7. They were born Halloween. Willie, I had in New York. They took him away from me because he was born with crack cocaine in his system. Anthony and Patricia was born in Bedford Hills Prison in New York. And I was going to keep them there, but my application got denied because I was a drug user. And they told me I needed to address my drug problem, so they went to foster care also. But I was able to see them every week. I had good foster parents. My 9-year-old son I had in Birmingham, and I had him at home with me. My second set of twins, Lee and Khadijah, I had them down here Halloween Day. Anthony is like the man of the family. He takes care of everybody, and he wants to always know if I'm all right. You know, regardless of what's going on with me, he needs to know that I'm all right and stuff. And he's an A/B honor roll student. When I'm not around, he gets in fights at school and stuff, and I think that's because he was rebelling about me not being there. My daughter, typical teenager, she's, you know, she has these little ways about her. She like to talk on the phone and love the little acid wash jeans. She's just a teenager, you know.
I got into a fight at the beginning of the school year.
I didn't get into any fights yet.
He got put out of school though.
I got just sent home. Wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah, what you do?
The babies, they stayed with their father. When I first had them and they had to go back to Birmingham, they stayed with him, but the first 3 years, well, the first year I got to see them because I was at work release. But when I came back, their father had an attitude with me because I didn't want to be back with him. So he withheld them from seeing me for the 3 years. For 3 years, I didn't see my children. He went to prison, and my sister ended up with him anyway. At first, they called me auntie because they didn't tell them that I was their mother. They told them I was the auntie. So it was hard trying to get them transitioned to back calling me mother. So now it's back to the same thing. Now they call me mama.
Okay, I have a trafficking charge and I have a murder charge. And basically, well, I'm stressing to all of them not to make the same mistakes that I made, but my son more so because he's a teenager now and he's older and he's very rebellious. He's rebellious now. And I think it's so much because I'm locked up. I think that's why he's acting out the way he is. And I can see how not only am I suffering, they're suffering also.
The most victimized in this whole process, they, you know, they're ripped away from their primary caretaker, sometimes suddenly. Sometimes they're there when their mother's arrested, and it can be very traumatizing. Usually the mothers are single mothers, and so that means that they are ripped up and shifted into another school, someplace where they're taken away from all their friends, their home. Their financial situation may change dramatically. They sometimes feel guilty, like maybe they're the ones that caused their mother to do what she did, that brought her here. It certainly is something they don't fully understand. Children have very vivid imaginations. They can think of things. If they don't get to see their mothers, they might imagine, you know, that she's being kept in a cell in chains and given bread and water. Their imaginations can run wild, and that's another reason why it's so important for them to come and see that she's healthy, that she's okay, that she can laugh, that she's going to be all right.